Today we are going to go work on building the pig pen fence. So we're going to get pigs in the future, and that is what we're working on right now. It's going to be down off the hill in that holler. I'll show you in a second when I get there. For now, let's look at the different things I have, different tools I'm going to take down with me. Here's a post hole driver. We got pliers, wire, some earbuds so I can listen to music if I want to, or podcasts. Actually, in books is what I usually listen to. Earplugs for when I'm recording and I can't listen to those. A couple tripods for recording on, so that I could show you how it looks. We are walking off down this hillside. For reference, there's the house. And we are going to go down off the hill here. Go through the electric fence. Oops. Okay. I'm going to go around and we'll show you exactly where it's going to be down in there. We have these panels. They're in the ground right now, laid out. So that is kind of where we were thinking about putting the pin. You can see down in here. So this used to be a pond. Where we're at now is an artificial dam that was built by, I don't know if it was Dannon's family or not, or if it was already here. Anyway, it makes this a perfect place for a pig pen because this pond doesn't have that much water in it, but enough that they can waller around in it. And then there's a lot of good little hillside that they can enjoy. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of plan exactly where the fence is going to go. Right now it's a little bigger than we have enough panels for, so I think I'm going to make it just a fudge smaller. Honestly, there's no reason to go all the way up the hill to the edge of that tree line up there because that's just killing more trees and they don't really need that much space. Wherever you put the pigs, you just have to assume that the ground is going to be bare, most of the trees are going to die, and all the grass is going to die as well.
As I'm editing this video, I've realized a couple things. One, my sound was a lot worse than I realized it was going to be. Thank you so much for sticking through it. I do have a microphone now, so my videos going forward will have much better sound quality. Two, I didn't really explain why we chose the spot we did for the pig pen, and I think that might be valuable for you. So the pond was a big reason. The pond will help them stay cool in the summertime because they'll be able to waller in the water down there, and that's something they really enjoy doing. If you have a pond that you don't mind getting really dirty for a while, I definitely recommend that for pigs. Also, since it is down in that little valley, they're going to stay warmer in the wintertime because the wind will not blow as hard down that valley. It'll kind of the hillside will help block it, so that's going to be helpful too. The trees are going to give them some shade, which will keep them cool in the summertime. And my biggest reason was pigs and pig pens. Well, pig pens mostly aren't very pretty and they don't smell very good. So we did want the pen further away from the house. We do have it down off the hill, so we shouldn't smell them ever, and we don't have to see them all the time. I think pigs are cute and I love seeing pigs, but their environment is not cute. And so it was worth it to me to have them farther away from the house so that when I stand and look off my back deck, that is not what I'm seeing. Instead, I have my garden close to my house, which I think is beautiful, and that was what I'll see.
We are heading back to get the pruning shears and some posts. I just realized we didn't actually bring the posts out, only the panels, so I'm gonna go get a bunch of posts and the pruning shears and get to work. We spent almost the last hour just figuring out exactly where we're gonna put it, like logistically, making sure I like it, and now I'm gonna get busy, get to work. What are you doing, buddy? Hi there. Yeah? How you think of all this stuff, huh? Just a little further. Right. Should be perfect. Open it right. Kind of pull it around. Still have this feeder sitting like pretty much right in front of it. You don't open it, Jake.
I wanted to take a second to voice over here and explain what I am thinking about. So, there's a few things to consider when building a pig pen and recording. You don't want your cow to get right in the way, but he's fine. He was the star of the show, and I was just driving in a post, so there really was not a whole lot to see that he messed up. Anyway, so while you watch me slowly and painfully drive this post, I want to explain what I was thinking about when I was figuring out the location of this panel. So, this panel that I am driving in right here is the gate panel, and it is what we're going to use to let the pigs into their pen. And it also is going to be close to where we're going to feed them. So, things I was considering, can we get the truck and trailer back to this gate? You, of course, don't want to be chasing your pigs all around the yard. So that is an important thing to consider, making sure your gate is going to be where you can back the trailer right to it. Also, this is going to help when the time comes to load them back up, which when you do load them back up, they're going to be much, much heavier. So, something to consider. Also, I wanted it to be flat, both because of backing the trailer up there and also because we're going to put the feeder pretty close to it. So that was another thing that was important to me, was just to have it flat as well. So that was for this panel. As I go through, I will make sure that I give you my other tips of what I was thinking about when building the pen, what's important things to remember. But for now, just remember with the gate, you want to make sure your trailer can get to it. I think you've seen me drive posts enough now, so I'm going to go ahead and cut through this footage so we can get on to the next step. When I finished driving in the first post, I went ahead and set up the gate so that I would know exactly where to drive the second post. You can always use a measuring tape, but personally, I think it's easier just to measure with the panel itself, and that way you can ensure that you are, in fact, driving the posts the right distance from each other. If you work hard enough to drive in the post, you definitely do not want to be pulling and repositioning where your post is. Measure twice, drive a post once. Also, the panel that I am referring to as the gate is just a short hog panel that has been cut to be made smaller. We got this from my father's farm, and it's nice for the gate because it is going to be really easy to open and close. It actually has a piece of metal on the bottom. This panel was used to capture wild hogs. We had made it as a trap door, and that's kind of why it has the metal on the top and bottom. But since it has that metal, it's a lot easier to swing open and close. So that's why we chose this panel for the gate. My next step was to grab another panel to put beside this post. I went ahead and grabbed that before wiring because I wanted to share some of the pieces of wire with both panels so I could wrap the wire around both panels and the post instead of just wiring one at a time. Once I was satisfied with where the panels were, I went ahead and grabbed my pliers and I grabbed some wire to get started wiring it. This is some really thin wire that we had. Dannon had used it on our previous house. I wanted to go ahead and use it, not waste it, but I did have to double it up before it was stout enough to hold the panels, in my opinion at least. You'll have to pardon my dirty nails. When you work outside, that tends to happen. Maybe you wouldn't have noticed it if I hadn't said anything, but I did. Anyway, once I was done folding that wire in half, it was time to go ahead and wire up the panel. I do recommend that you use a pair of fencing pliers like these that we have. That's going to allow you to make the wire a lot tighter. which is another important thing to make sure that you do. You want to make sure that the wire is really tight so that it grips the panel against the post and there's no room for it to move around either forward and back or up and down.
Right here, I need to pull this out because I want this bead to be able to open without getting caught. The only where, so see that gets caught. And this was thinking of having it at my gate. So I'm gonna pull this, I'm gonna put a post right here and pull this fence over so that it doesn't turn so sharply. Well, I think you get the gist of what it looks like to drive posts. I'm gonna stop videoing for a little while and drive some more posts, and I'll catch you in a few hours. You may be wondering, like my husband will be, why in the world the fence is so curved. I'm sure he will. So you notice the elevation is, there's a lot of elevation gain since we're going around a pig pen. The most important thing when building a pig pen is that there's no distance off the ground for the panel because the pigs are gonna go under if anything. And so I needed to twist this in such a way that all of it was still on the ground. Also right here, I wanted it to go a little bit further this way, but not any further. And if you notice, there's a root on that tree. There's that tree root right there. And if I put the panel on top of that, it would have stuck off the ground. So I had to go under this tree, but I needed this paneling to go down. And I mean, there could have been other ways, but we're definitely not taking it up now. Day 2 of working on the pig pen. I have my helper with me now. We have made it clear who is the boss still, though. So he's my assistant today. On the totem. Right? So we've got to cut some branches out of the way first with his chainsaw, because it would be just absolutely miserable to try to get in through there with everything in the way. So that's what we're gonna do first, and then get right to it. We have our other manager here. Even though how you gonna manage a project when you got no eyeballs? She's gonna help us with the pig pen. Hi. We took a break to go ride horses, and now we're back at it. I'm not gonna record much because we gotta focus on getting this done because we're trying to get pigs tonight.
The most important thing about wiring the panels is to make sure that you cannot pull them up. And the way you do that is to make sure the wire goes around these little notches. I was definitely thankful to have someone else there to help drive in posts. That is probably physically the hardest part of the job. So having Dannon help me do that made it a lot easier for me.
Quick update, we have made it decently far. So see where Dannon's working, and we have gone all the way around the collar. And then of course that is up there. It's hard to see wire panels in the trees, but hopefully you can get an idea how big it is.
You may notice all the different types of panels we used for this project. This was just a hodgepodge of old panels that my father had mostly, and we wanted to use up to save money. We actually didn't spend any additional money building the pig pen. We were really thankful for that. Because it was off over the hill, there was no reason to worry about aesthetics. So we just used any panel, and it didn't matter if they went together or not.
We've made the bend. We've gone all around the edge of the pond, and now we are coming back up this hill. And once we get to the top of the hill, we'll pretty much catch where my last panels were from yesterday. So we're getting closer. We're gonna have to stop at 6 because we found some pigs and we're gonna go buy them.
Nice post, baby. Ah!
Woo! Okay, we're done. So all the way around. I mean, we ran out of fence posts and we have to come back and do the middle posts. But it's a hog pen. We're gonna go pick up hogs.
Hey, hey, hey.
Went ahead and waited until the next morning to unload the pigs so we wouldn't have to do it in the dark.
Someone put the gate way off the hill, so that's how he's having to get down, but really there was no other option. And he agreed it was the best spot. Would you open that gate? Hey, Dannon, actually open that gate so that it closes off that gap over there. Now that they can't go under, so I better get out of the way so they don't feel scared.
Ah, your scraps? What do you want your scraps?
Probably right here.
How you gonna get through over there?
Okay.
Hey, big.
Woo.
Ah, you got him?
Yep.
Come on, pig. Come on, pig. Come on, pig. Come on, pig. Come on, pig.
Cado,
Now,
come on.
get out of the way.
Cado, come here.
Come on, pig.
Out of the way. Cado.
Come on,
Out of
pig.
the way.
Come on,
Good
pig,
dog.
Pig. Come on, hog. Come on, porky. Come on, pork chop. Oh, you're going the wrong way.
Cado. Oh, good. Here, Cado.
Pig.
Collie.
Come on, pig. Come on, pig.
Come on. Stay here.
Come on, pig.
Huh?
Let it do her thing.
Okay. Oh, wow, they look at him. Look at those guys go.
Pig.
Eating walnuts. Fresh grass. Hell, man, they don't mind that life.
Come on, pig. Come on, good pig.
Good
Pig.
pig.
Come on, pig. Come on, pig. Come on, pig. Come on, pig. Come on, pig. Come on, buddy.
Come on.
Yeah.
All your friends are doing it. Look at your friends eating. They look so cute doing that. Oh,
All right.
look at those pigs.
That's some howl.
Okay, out, Cado. Very interested. See their friends. Cado, Collie, no. Look at you. Just... Can you set it over or does we need to drive in?
Come on, pig. Come on, pig. On down here.
Yeah, they're a lot bigger than what I was thinking you might get. So that'll work.
Oh, here's the first meal in the new pen. Ho, ho, ho. Some soured milk. That's hardly enough to wet your taste buds. One of the things on our project trailer is coming off, or part of it. We have all this old tin from Dannon's parents' house when they rebuilt it. And we're gonna use a couple pieces to make the pigs a shed today. All of our cows love checking out the action. The only problem with that is we really don't want them to hit the truck, but we pulled the trailer in here so we didn't have to carry everything quite so far. Anyway, I gotta get to work, so I'm gonna carry these sawhorses. Yeah, yep. that Dannon wanted to make sure we talked about reusing things. So, you know, we kept this tin from his parents' house. It could have just been thrown away, but there's a lot of value to it. Actually, almost everything on this trailer came from my dad's old home spot. We're cleaning that up since he's living with us, and we have a lot of things that we are reusing. So these sawhorses, you can see, have been used a whole lot. Dannon, you do want the white ones, right? We're gonna say yes. Okay, I'm gonna get to work so I can get this truck away from the cows. Hey, go on. Go on, Dandy. Go on, Dandy. And Spook. Go on. Good boy. Good boy. Go on. She's a bigger sass than our bull is. All right. Okay. So what's our plan?
All right, so it's easier to use the posts that are already driven in. We're gonna do this a little unconventional because we don't want to build a normal structure that you would dig and put posts in the ground like wood posts, because they'll root around them and move them real good. So we're just gonna rely on the T-posts because we know they don't root around them. We're gonna drive some T-posts here in the front and have us a header across the front. Probably have 3 posts across the front, one on the end, on each end, and one in the middle. And then it'll lean to back to this other header right here.
Dannon is cutting a piece of tin right now. Muri's hanging out. We're gonna put her in her chair. She did not like it, so we'll just watch her on the ground. That is food, not a stick. Not that I'd care if it was a stick. Hi, Muirbug. I am going to go pull some fence posts. We have a couple fence posts, and then there's also this old row of fence posts that I've been meaning to pull for quite a while now, because it's not good on the cow. So I'm gonna work on that really quickly to get us enough posts, and then I'll drive some. This tool right here is a post hole puller. It was my grandfather's. And the tool?
Yeah.
Had you used one of those before?
No, I got this guy.
Oh, whoa. We will not be using this post probably again. I don't know. Maybe we could fix it, straighten it. It will not be our first choice. We'll have to get pretty desperate. Show us what that is real quick.
It's just an attachment to the drill.
So a benefit for Dannon and I is Dannon has built a lot of things in his life. So he's probably, how long have you had that attachment?
Well, I've had this. I mean, this is Dad's, and he's had it probably since I was 10, 11 years old.
His dad's also built a lot of things, and so has his granddad. Yeah.
Yes. That's all it does. And then you lock it in, and then you go to cutting.
Okay, I will help you hold it. The right tools make it doable, but not necessarily easy. This is our most valuable worker. Most certainly, because she is letting us work. She has her little chew stick and is loving that. No, thank you, Muirbug. So Dannon is gonna cut this piece of tin in half. It is gonna be for the roof, so it'll be about 6.5 feet. And then the sides were 5 foot. The roof, of course, needs to be longer than the sides because the roof is going to be slanted, and that'll take a larger distance. And here's where math comes in. My students.
3.5 inches?
12.
What's that?
What's half of 12 foot and 3 and a?
Oh, no, sorry. I'm telling you. I take it back. I'm sorry. 12 foot 7 inches.
12.
So 6, 3.5.
Ah. Still, you have to know how to divide fractions if you're building in the United States with the metric. Or not metric, with the, what's it called?
SAE.
The SAE system instead of the metric. Even though the metric you still probably only need fractions sometimes.
No, decimals.
Decimals, that's right, of course. The metric system, I gotta admit, is a little better. Anyway, because decimals are a lot easier, as your students will tell you. The reason we are building a shed for the pigs is because it is starting to get even colder. Today's a beautiful day. It's in the mid-50s, so wonderful day to work outside. But it is getting colder. Fall is almost over. Winter is basically here. So we do need a good spot for the pigs to stay warm during the winter so they're comfortable, healthy, and don't burn unnecessary calories.
Another important aspect about having a shelter and a place for the pigs to stay warm is the more heat that they have surrounding them, the less feed that they'll have to have in order to keep their body temperatures up. So as the temperature of the air falls, the pig has to eat more to have its body temperature maintained at the same amount. So more feed will have to be fed, less profit, more money going in.
I like it. That's a good way to explain what I meant. Sometimes I forget and just say things like it'll help them consume fewer calories, and that's what I was meaning, and that's a really good explanation for it. So Dannon has already driven the post to hold it. Now we are drilling holes to wire the tin to the post. Alright, a little update. We have screwed in a lot of this tin. It's pretty stout, so they got tin on either side. I have to finish screwing in the back piece of tin and that side corner. And then Dannon is screwing in the nailers just to help keep the tin itself down on top. What you doing, old man? What are you doing? You got a little toothpick thing in your mouth? A little weed in your mouth? Oh my goodness sake. First time looking in the hog house.
Yeah, they'll be tough on everything. Why won't it just post?
So our hog house is done. We could finish off the top in the future, but we got the bottom so that there's no wind that blows in there. And of course the front is open, so it isn't like we are trying to make it airtight or something. So yeah, there she is. This'll get them where they have this will make it where they have a place that's out of the rain and out of the wind that they may go. The first pig in the pig house. A very final step, which is probably more than we'd have to do, but we went ahead and spread some hay from last year, or the year before that actually, yeah. I guess we got last winter is what I mean. Anyway, we're spreading that hay down so that they have a nice, fluffy, warm place to sleep. We came out here and they weren't even sleeping in the pen. But it's a beautiful night, so I'm not surprised.
Cows are like, why can't I sleep in the barn?
Mm-hmm.
Look at that little bed right there.
Woo! They're eating their bed, but I think they like it.